In this video, we're going to be showing you a hybrid fill using pre-made fans. So here's a little preview of her before and after. She came in with some classic lashes that really needed to be refilled, and we're going to be refilling them with our Eslashes pre-made fans to turn it into a hybrid set. So the first thing I always like to do is wash and prime those lashes to ensure I'm getting the absolute best retention. I find that makes such a difference for me. Then we're going to apply our collagen under eye pads and our micropore tape, making sure we secure those bottom lashes and nothing gets in the waterline. I always check to make sure the eye is properly closed and the client's comfortable. Now, the first thing we need to do when we're actually getting started on our fill is to remove any grown out lashes. So you're going to want to file through and look for those lashes that need to be peeled back. So I'm using the banana peel technique here where I'm holding on to the natural lash and also holding on to the lash extension and then peeling it back. Now in this one, sometimes you have to wiggle it around a little to pop them off. In those first few, you could see how I found those lashes and just grabbed on with one tweezer onto the natural lash, like you can see here, and one onto the lash extension. So you want to make sure you're not pulling on the client's lashes at all, pulling on them, making them uncomfortable, anything like that. They should all be super comfortable for them, and that's our most important thing we can do as we get started, is to remove any grown out lashes, because those can cause extra weight onto the natural lash and they can start to twist when they grow out too much as well. So it's important to remove any grown out ones or any twisted ones before we get started. Now I'm going to draw on the lash map. We're doing the open eye lash map on her. She wants that lift for the eye. Now I'm peeling back my pre-made fans, and I actually pick them up from the base first to make sure they stay together and then pick them up from the top. So they're really easy to apply. They're already fully pre-made, and we would apply them just like we would a classic lash. So you can see here it's the same steps where you isolate, pick up the fan, dip it in glue, and place it right on, and then shift it into position. So they're really, really easy to apply. So you can see here, we're going to grab some more and just evenly distribute them throughout the two eyes, going back and forth. Now her lashes are pretty straight, so I am going to do a little bit of taping just to lift them just that little bit. Always check with the mirror, make sure everything's good to go. Just makes them a little easier to isolate and apply. Now with the fans, sometimes I like to pick them up by the base ahead of time, just to make it a little bit faster and easier for me. So I'll pick a bunch up by the base and then start applying those. You want to be really careful with them because they can fall apart if you're not picking them up very carefully. Now adjusting your hand to get that angle just right helps so much to having that seamless bond. Now when we're dipping a pre-made, you want to dip it about 1.5 to 2 millimeters into the glue drop and slowly remove. You can hold it in there for a second if you feel like you need to just get that little bit more glue saturation around the fan, but don't overdo it with the glue. You don't want to see any drops of glue or anything on it. Just a little bit of lash glue goes such a long way. Make sure you're always applying the lashes about 0.5 millimeters at least away from the lash line, because we don't want to get any glue stuck to the lids. We don't want to clog their pores, so make sure the base of that fan is at least 0.5 millimeters away from the lash line. You don't want to go too far away either, because that can cause issues with them growing out too much. So we're just going through now and isolating and finding any lashes we might have missed and getting the appropriate fan for that lash and just filling in those gaps. Just going through and filling in any gaps to really create that nice fluffy look. We are going to transition her into volume slowly. So this is something you can do with pre-made fans, and pre-made fans just make the appointment so much faster and easier, and they're great for beginners. Now we want to dry those lashes fully now that we're all done with applying our lashes in our fill. And we want to really gently remove the tape, making sure you're holding the skin tight whenever you are removing tape. Always check and make sure that the client is comfortable when you're doing this as well, but this tape is really gentle. It doesn't remove any of the hairs or anything like that. This is the Eslashes Pink micro pore tape, so we're just slowly removing those, and in the time that I'm removing it, the lashes are getting a chance to dry a little bit more, which is perfect because we're going to be applying our super bonder to help with retention, to help seal those lashes, to help so that she can get them wet right away right after her appointment. Now I've removed the tape. I actually want to file through and check and see if there are any stickies. So I file through each lash to make sure none of those lash extensions or lashes are stuck together, because we don't want to let the client go with any lashes stuck together. We want to make sure everything is good, and we want to make sure there are none stuck to the iPad as well. So we want to comb them out and fluff them out exactly. If there are any stickies or anything like that, you'd want to remove those. Then we're applying the super bonder and drying the lashes again, and then slowly removing those under iPad. So here's the before and after of our hybrid set, and you can see how much that open eye lash map just really lifts and opens the eye for her.